Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I hope everybody is in a good condition, and it's very nice to see you. Even though this is just an online meeting, at least we can communicate. And this is the second meeting of the survival speaking. And thank you very much for those who have submitted the responses or materials last week to the e-learning. And today we will discuss or talk about the questions we had last week. Okay, so last week we talked about 5 questions, right? Number 1 is what is communication, and number 2, why do humans need to communicate? Number 3, how do humans communicate? Number 4, what makes a communication ineffective? And the last one is which one is easier? Communication by writing or speaking, and why? Okay, so let's see them one by one. Okay, so what is communication? So you can see here that communication is the process of sending and receiving information from among people, right? So there are two people here. This is the sender and receiver, and you will send something, information, and sometimes you will use medium. Yeah, like what I'm using now is I'm using the medium is what is it, the internet or the phone or the computer. I use this media or medium to send my information to you, and I think I will require feedback from you after this, right? So this is communication. So this is what happens when you communicate with people. So you are sending and receiving message or information. And why do humans communicate? Why do we communicate? So at least there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 purposes or goals or reasons why we communicate. Yes, the first one is, of course, to get and give information. For example, when I ask you, what's your name? Meaning I need to get information about your name. When I ask you, where do you live? I'm trying to get the information about your address or where do you live. Or maybe when I talk to you because I'm trying to give you information, for example, like what you do in the first task, like introduction of yourself. You give information, for example, hello, my name is Burhan, I come from Pemalang. Yeah, this time I'm trying to give information to you, the listener. And the second purpose is to change behavior. For example, when you see a brother, maybe he is playing something dangerous like knife, playing knife or scissors, and I think you think that is dangerous, so you try to change his behavior by telling him, hey, stop playing that knife or stop playing that scissor, it's dangerous, play something else, something like that. Or for example, yeah, someone asks you direction and then you show the direction, oh, please go there, turn right or turn left. This is one way to change someone's behavior. Number 3 is to get action, of course. Yeah, for example, if you need some help from other people, like when you think that the room is hot, you can ask your friend or someone next to you by asking, could you please turn on the air conditioning or please open the window? This is one communication which has goals to get someone to do something or action. And number 4 is to ensure understanding. Yeah, because when you talk to someone, maybe you need to check whether someone understands or not. So you can ask him or her, do you understand what I'm saying like this? And then you will say, yes, I understand. Or, oh, I don't understand. Please speak slowly or lowly. And then, yes, you will have to check again. And number five is to persuade. When you have something you believe to be good, and then you want someone else to do that thing, you can persuade him or her to do what you do. For example, hey, Johnny, I have a good cell phone. If you want to have this one, you can choose this brand or this type of cell phone. This is one way to persuade, or anything else. So at least there are five communication goals. Maybe you can add later in the discussion board. Okay, so yes. So the next question is, how do we communicate? Yes, there are at least four. You can use speaking, you can use writing, or visual images, or body language. Like what I'm doing now is I'm using speaking. I'm talking with my oral organ, my mouth, and you're listening with your ear. And sometimes you can write, right? For example, yeah. Wait a minute. I can use this paper. I can write something here. Can you read this? Yeah, it's written, what's your name? It's writing, and if you read this message and you understand it, you will say your name, because I communicate asking you your name. And sometimes you can use visual images. Yeah, there are so many signals or signs on the road, on the street, like no parking, no smoking. They use visual images, right? Pictures. Sorry. And also you can use body language, like this, for example. There's no words, no writing. I just use my finger. So this is the body language. When I ask you to keep silent, for example, or like this, it means like good, right? Body language, or meaning come here, right? Yeah, this is body language. So you can use these four ways to communicate to get these things right. Yeah, to give information, for example, this is good. To change behavior, keep silent. To get action, come here. To persuade, please. To ensure, or something else. Yes, so you can use these four ways of communication to get these five goals of communication. Okay, the next one is, yeah, is it easy or difficult to communicate? Yeah, in fact, this process, the process of sending and receiving information, sometimes do not, or sometimes does not occur smoothly, and these goals are not achieved or obtained, or it didn't succeed, right? It may happen because of these things. So between the sender and the receiver, sometimes there are many things around communication, like motivating factors, belief systems, timing too, sensitivity, willingness, time, location, role expectation, behavior, and many more. For example, if about the belief system, yes, maybe for some people it's not okay to ask about something forbidden because they believe that, so you may not ask about this thing. Or about sensitivity, for example, if you ask about someone's age, do you think that's appropriate? For example, excuse me, how old are you? That's inappropriate, so it's not good for this communication. And then about the role expectation, yeah, because we are from different role. For example, yeah, some people have maybe different level of social, teacher or public figure. They have different roles, so maybe they will have different way to communicate. So these things may distort the communication, and the goals will not be achieved as expected. Okay, what should we avoid when we communicate? Yeah, there are three. The first one is, yeah, please do not finish other sentences. Yeah, why do you think finishing other sentences is not good? Maybe because it means you don't have, what is that, respect, enough respect to let him or her finish speaking. Just finish your friend's talking and then you reply. Do not finish your friend's sentences. Or number two, preparing our response before someone has completed speaking. Yeah, it looks like, I think I know what you are saying. I know the answer. So I think it's not good. So please, yeah, be neutral. Do not give your response before he or your friend finish speaking. And then, yeah, this is, I think, the most common error that we often do while speaking, especially nowadays when we have the gadget. Multitasking while listening. So when you are talking to someone, please do not do anything else like playing with gadget, cell phone, or anything else. Please be a good listener. So what should we do to make a good communication? So yes, the first one is, right, listen to understand. When we are talking with someone, please listen to him or to her in order to understand what he or she is saying to you. And number two is understand before speaking. Yes, make sure you understand what you are going to talk to your friend before speaking. Understand it first and then you speak to your friend. And then speak to be understood, of course, because the main point of speaking is to be understood, is to send messages or to send information. So please make sure that your message is clear, right, and can be understood by your friends or by someone else. Okay, and then seek understanding before proceeding. When you talk to someone, you are trying to send information or a message, right? So before you proceed, you continue your talking. Make sure that he or she understands your point first, and then you continue to the next point. For example, okay, so far, do you understand? Any question? No. If there's no question, I can continue. Or if you have questions, you may ask, and then I will repeat my explanation, and then I will move to the next one, something like that. So please make sure the listener understands what you are saying before you continue your discussion. And then, of course, you have to repeat. You have to repeat if there are messages or information which are not clearly understood. You have to repeat the information until it is understood. So this is the algorithm or what you should do to make a communication running well. Yes, and then this is how to be a good listener. Number one is set the stage. So please understand your position. For example, if you are talking to your friend, you be there, you sit there, be there physically and mentally. Because someone maybe is there, but his mind or her mind is somewhere else, right? Traveling around. Set the stage. And number two is ensure mutual understanding. Please make sure that when you're talking to someone, you understand her or his position, and she will understand you too. And number three is very important, but understand the body language, right? Because yes, the body language expresses many messages. Like when I show my finger like this, it means good, right? Or when I show my finger like this, what's your quiet? Yeah, like quiet. It's just the message that I want to tell, that you have to be quiet. And then suspend judgment. Yeah, you have to, what is it, do not judge quickly someone else's statement. So please hold, suspend your judgment. And then this is behaviors that might hinder, hinder, it blocks or disturb the listening. Act distracted. Yeah, for example, yeah, you look at your watch, it may distract your listening activity. Or you open your cell phone, it may distract your activity of listening. And if you tell your own story without acknowledging theirs, it may also, what is that, block the effectivity of the listening. Yeah, try to be mutual. If you are telling about your story, make sure that you are listening to his or her story too. No matter how interesting your story is, please make sure that you, what is that, appreciate or listen or yes, acknowledge their interesting story too. And give no response. Yeah, if you give no response, it may, what is that, create the effect, what is it, the communication is not good. So please make sure that you give response like nodding or yeah, yes. If someone asks you, you have to answer it. If you don't understand, say it. If you understand, not, meaning yeah, just give response. Be negative, yeah, this is also bad. Interrupt, okay, do not interrupt. Do not, what is that, talk in the middle of someone else talking. Please let your friends or your listener or your speaker finish the sentences first. Criticize, of course, is also may what is it? Yeah, it may disrupt the effectivity of listening. Yeah, because criticizing is, yeah, often it may, what is that, offended people, offend people. So please do not criticize. And then yeah, this is some tips to improve your communication. The first one is brevity. Brevity means concise, short. Do not talk too long, round and round, to the point, right? And then sincerity means honest, right? Be honest, sincerity, not fake. Try to be honest, not fake. This is interesting. Yeah. Don't praise yourself. Why do you think praising yourself is not good? Please find the answer. Why praising yourself is not good. And try to avoid argument. Yeah, nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to have a quarrel or have argument. No, I don't agree with you. Oh no, that's not good. Please try to avoid argument. And then be tactful. Tactful means wise. You have to be sensitive. If you look at the friend, he is tired, you have to maybe stop talking. Just be tactful, be wise, understand, be sensitive. Silence, what is it? What do you think? Why silence do you think can improve the communication? Silence means here no sound. Yeah, maybe try to be a good listener, right? You have to be silent. Don't talk while someone else talking to you. Be silent. And then enunciation. Because the point of this communication is to give message information. So please make sure that your message is understood, right? Understandable. It has to be clear and then loud. The what is it? The volume should be loud. Syllables you have to clear and flexibility of tone. The tone should be dynamic, not only one flat tone like hello, good morning, my name is blah blah. You have to make like dynamic tone, like sometimes low, sometimes high. Yeah, good morning. Okay, my name is blah blah blah. I need to find some information. Can you tell me? Yes, we have a flexibility of tone. Okay, these are the tips to improve your communication, and you can try these tips or you have your own. Please give your response on the discussion board. And yeah, so how to make an effective communication? Yeah, number one is good use of English. Yeah, try to improve your English. Of course, practice make perfect. If you want to make it perfect, yeah, you have to practice again and again. Improve vocabulary, of course. If you have a wide range of vocabulary, your message will be easily understood. And then improve the clarity of your voice. Yeah, you have to like what it. Uh, yeah, you have to check your. Well, in Arabic we have makhraj, right? If you can pronunciate a word clearly, I think it also will improve the clarity of your word. For example, like see, when you say the word see, 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 it might mean see by eyes, or see, or the sea, ocean, or like she, her. So you have to improve your clarity of your voice. This is to improve your effective communication or conversation. And if you have a good sense of humor, you can also use humor to gain more, what is that, a good relationship between you and your listener. Okay, so these are ways to improve or to get effective communication or conversation. You can try these tips. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have finished my explanation. Now it's time for you to uh, contemplate. Do you agree with my explanation about how to make an effective communication? It's time to discuss. Please let us know. Please write your in the comment section or in the discussion board discussion. Yeah, do you have other opinions? Please let me know. So that's all for the this second meeting, and thank you very much, and see you next time, and stay safe. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.